Hey, chiropractors, welcome to Modern Chiropractic Mastery with your host, Dr. Kevin Christie, where we discuss the latest in marketing, business, and professional growth with some of the leading experts in the industry. Welcome to another episode of Modern Chiropractic Mastery. This is your host, Dr. Kevin Christie, and today we are talking about the margin expander tool and how it relates to your finances. With our coaching clients and our mastermind members, we developed a tool called the margin expander, and this helps us get very clear on having more margin in our life. It's not just about money. It can be about time. It can be about energy, kind of physical and mental. It can be about relationships, work, health, emotional capacity, leisure, right? And so we kind of have 8 different measuring sticks of margin in our life. And if we can improve those, we can ultimately thrive professionally, personally, and feel good about our progress in life. And today we're going to use this tool and just kind of dive into the first one I have listed on the tool, which is finances. Financial margin provides security and freedom to handle emergencies or invest in growth. And I think it lends itself to some peace of mind, right? When you've got your financials squared away, I can take two chiropractors, all things being equal, one with good margin in their finances, and we'll define what that looks like, and one that doesn't. And again, with everything else being equal, same person, that other one's going to, with the financial struggle, is going to have a little more anxiety, maybe a little more frustration, on edge, depression, burnout, professional burnout. There's a lot of things that come with lack of margin in your finances. So, and when we talk about these, I'm just going to talk about 5, and this is pertaining to your business and personal, right? And one is going to be cash flow, right? Cash flow crunch is not fun. We've all been there. And, and I speak to you not as a complete expert in all these things, but talk to a lot of chiropractors, talk to a lot of experts, been coached by financial experts, been through all the things financially good and sometimes bad. And cash flow is one of those ones that can be pretty frustrating, right? Payroll's coming up and you don't have the money in the operating expenses. And that is what cash flow is. I'm not going to dive too much into it, but you want to make sure you've got good cash flow. It can be very unpredictable in healthcare, so you can't beat yourself up too much. It happens. But one of the ways you offset potential, cash flow issues, if some money's not coming in, is that you would maybe have an operating expense account that has a basement in it and a ceiling, right? Maybe you never let your operating account get below $15,000 and it doesn't need to get above $30,000. Just making those number up. Depending on the revenue of your clinic and the overhead, those parameters would change, but you would have that kind of $15K to $30K in your OpEx account that it can withstand a little bit of maybe a cash flow crunch there periodically. Let's take a break from today's episode and announce our first sponsor. This is going to be Propel Marketing and Design. I've known Darcy Sullivan for years. We've worked hand in hand on my websites. I don't trust anybody else to do this search engine optimization. She does a great job. There's so much to it. A lot of the lingo and the words are beyond my comprehension, but it's just amazing work that she does. And if you're really going to get results with Google, you have to make sure your website is SEO optimized. And I really don't want you doing it yourself as a chiropractor. So you just have to have this type of stuff done. And if you're looking to get more organic online traffic that pulls in new patients, Propel Marketing and Design is currently offering chiropractors who listen to this podcast a free SEO website review. The free review will help you uncover methods that will improve your website and boost your search engine visibility. Head over to propelyourcompany.com/chiropractor and schedule your free SEO website review. You won't regret it. She gets great results. Your website needs this. Your search results need this. Head on over there to propelyourcompany.com/chiropractor to get your free SEO website review. Second is margin, profit margin. What's interesting enough is I could look at the profit margin of a practice at the end of the year, and it could look healthy. Could say, 20% margin, right? 20% profit. But you could have had some cash flow issues throughout that year, right? That can happen. And you were like, oh man, it was such a struggle bus this year. But when you look at the end of it, the margin is there. And sometimes it's not, right? But we want to make sure we have healthy profit margins. And I do want you to have some grace in it and realize in a given year, 12 months, there tends to be 2 months that are amazing financially, 2 months are just completely not good, and 8 that are like kind of your typical. And that's not obviously across the board, but just realize that that does happen. And in certain parts of the country, you might have seasonality, which you need to prepare for. So you like down here in South Florida, we have high margin, let's call it October to June, but not any margin in July, August, and September. There's only so much I can cut in those months, but you utilize some of the margin from the winter months, which are really busy down here, and we got all the snowbirds to cover you in the other months. That's what all the restaurants down here have to do. I'm sure there's some that don't, but almost all of them have to. I bet you a lot of restaurants will lose money in the summer. So margin, you want to make sure you have some good profit margin, and a lot of us as chiropractors, we're hitting singles all day long. It's not typically a high margin industry like say plastic surgery or orthodontics, but we can do things strategically to have good margin, and a lot of times there's some fundamental principles that we need to work with to help out with that. Number three is gonna be cash reserves. Imagine a life where you've got predictable cash flow, got an OpEx account that's got a little buffer. You feel good about your profit margin, and you got a couple months of emergency savings, and you got a sinking fund for some bigger expenses. So you got some cash reserves in case something happens. That is a big one there. Provides a lot of peace of mind. Christine Odell or Greg Crabtree would mention having 2 months of at least 2 months of business expenses. Dave Ramsey on your personal side might be all the way up to like 3 to 6 months in your personal life for cash reserves. Let's take a short break for one of our great sponsors, TrackStat. It is a new type of software plugin for your EHR that combines patient communication, marketing, automation, and statistics with patient and employee tracking. Built by chiropractors for chiropractors, it shows your team what to focus on each day. See patient visit habits, missing information, unpaid bills, insurance collection visit average, and more. Great visibility of data so you can focus on filling your office with your best patients. When you can see what your staff and patients are doing or not doing and take action accordingly, your profits naturally grow. Take TrackStat for a test drive in your office with our free trial. Not a techie, no problem, we can help. To get started on your free trial, visit trackstat.org and watch the demo. That is trackstat.org. Number four is debt. And, there's different types of debts. You cut your student loan debt probably. Wouldn't sweat that too much. It is, it's there. It's gonna take time to pay it off, or maybe forgiven down the road. It was the price of entry to get into this profession. You wouldn't be in it without it, most likely, and don't dwell on it too much. You want to try to obviously pay down any type of consumer debts, credit card debts, line of credit debts. There, if you have a piece of equipment loan, you have a shockwave loan, but you're spending 400 a month on the shockwave and it's generating 4,000 a month. That's not a bad debt. If you don't like debt at all, you could take the 4,000 you're making every month off the shockwave for a bit and take all the money or some of the money and pay the loan off quicker. I'll let you decide on that, but feeling good about your debt. You know, I think if someone's got a home mortgage, they got student loans, and they've got some strategic debt, not a big deal. Again, everybody's got a different level of comfort with debt. Uh, or if you have some debt, if you had to take out a business loan or you took, you use some line of credit to buy some stuff for the practice, and you got a payment plan in set in your mind, like, oh, I'm going to pay $1,200 a month on this line of credit and get it done, or your business Amex for whatever reason, it's fine. If you've got a plan and feel good about it, you just need to find what your comfort zone is with debt and tackle it. And then lastly is 5 is the what I call the financial fortress. I shouldn't say what I call. I heard it on a podcast and I can't remember who said it and can't give credit to it, but you want to build that financial fortress around your family. That's little things. We have a whole document on this. Um, but basically, life insurances for your personal life, key person policies in your business, disability insurance if you get hurt, investment funds. Maybe there's a lot of different things that are going to go into building a lot of layers of protection. It could be a unused home equity line of credit in your house that you're not using, but it's there in case something massive happens to your house that you need to repair and fix, and you don't want to have any issues. Let's take a short break from today's episode to tell you about the best decision I've made in my clinic in the last 10 years, and that has been adding shockwave therapy to our clinic. The outcomes have been really impressive. Certain conditions we were struggling with in the past, we're now seeing results with the shockwave therapy for that. And second of all, the ROI has been really good. When you make a big investment in something, you want to see a return, and we're seeing that return in clinical outcomes and in our investment, and that's been really nice to see. I chose Keenest Medical for 4 reasons. One is the technology is top notch. You have to have great technology. There's a lot out there that isn't quite up to snuff. The second thing is they have a really good clinical training. They have an exclusive partnership with Academy of Shockwave Excellence so that you can become clinically proficient in shockwave. You do need to get skilled at it. I think that's a big differentiator between practices that are getting great results and seeing the ROI is they have a great clinical aspect to that as well. So you want to get trained appropriately. Third is they have in-house service team for all of your technical support, which is key when you're investing in a machine like this. And then lastly, they have a very in-depth marketing and business support for you so that you can launch this into your practice effectively, that you can get that ROI on it, that you can get the clinical outcomes. And they also have really good financing options if you need that. So go to KeenestMedical.com, KINAS medical.com, mention MCM podcast and receive a free shockwave in practice book with a purchase of a unit. So that's KeenestMedical.com, KINAS medical.com, and mention MCM podcast. So there's a lot of things that we can do to build kind of a financial fortress around your family, whether you are living or if you sadly pass away, to where your family doesn't feel the brunt of it. And so we talk about that often in our different programs, and that's a big one. I think when we talk about that one, a lot of people's ears perk up and really want to learn more about it. And we are going to cover that. We are having a Cash Confident Chiropractor online course. If you remember last year, we did an online course that was super successful. I couldn't believe how many people signed up, and it was awesome. The feedback we got, the engagement we got through it. I think we did a good job of making it more than just some kind of course you take on your own and you forget about it. But we're going to be doing the Cash Confident online course. And what it is it's 6 lessons dripped out every Monday for 6 weeks. The first one will be December 1st of 2025. And then every week there'll be a drip. And then there's an associated Zoom call with me on Q&A and going over things. And then we also have a Slack channel with all the members where questions can be answered in there as you're going along with it. So we build a little bit of a community and feedback around it. I'm really excited about the lesson plan for this. I'm actually tackling this with Dr. Holly Tucker. Um, she's Profit First certified and a chiropractor, and then we'll also have Christine Odell. And so lesson 1, again, this will be in December 1st, will be increasing revenues and profit margin. I'll be doing that lesson. Lesson 2 will be with Holly Tucker, and that'll be understanding reporting, goal setting, and aligning practice potential to success. Call 3 will be understanding and planning cash flow. I shouldn't say call 3, lesson 3. There will be a call with it, but understanding and planning cash flow. So we mentioned having cash flow and how important that is. Call four is going to be the four buckets of finances in your financial fortress. So kind of like I just mentioned. So what happens when you have extra money? Great place to be. And fortunately, we chat with a lot of chiropractors are there, but you need a strategy of where to put that extra money. So we talk about that. Then we talk about in lesson 5, reinvesting in your business for growth. And then finally, we build your 2026 financial plan. So the last lesson and Zoom call with that will be building your 2026 financial plan. So you'll go into the year with a detailed financial plan that you'll feel confident about. And you can check that out and register. So the registration is going to open on November 3rd, which, as this show releases, was a few days ago. November 3rd to 15th is early bird pricing. And then November 16th to the end of the month, November 30th, we will close the doors at that time. That'll be full pricing. And so make sure you get into the early bird pricing. And you're going to find all that information at bit.ly/MCM cash. That'll be in the show notes, and we'll be promoting it and letting everybody know and emailing. If you're in our Facebook group, we'll be putting it in there. If you're on our email list, we'll be doing that. We're going to make this like very reasonably priced. I want people to have this information. I think this is going to become the real foundation of your future understanding of both practice finances and how it relates to your personal finances. It's not going to be anything about investing in Bitcoin and all the things that we're not accounting, we're not doing. We brought in a couple experts. Obviously, Holly and Christine have the chops. And then I'm not necessarily certified in anything financially, but coach a lot of the 4 lessons that I'm going to go over and have tons of experience with it and been coached on it. And so you can go to bit.ly/MCM cash to sign up for that. Again, early bird pricing is November 3rd to November 15th. And then it's regular pricing after that. And the doors close completely on November 30th. And then we release the first lesson on Monday, December 1st, just like we did last year. And it flowed well. And I'm excited to help you out as much as I can. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. And if you want to make the shift from busy, broke, and broken to time-free and cash confident, or you just want to continue with the exponential growth, check us out at modernchiropracticmarketing.com. Look at the MCM Mastery tab, watch the short video on there, and check out what we are doing now for evidence-informed chiropractors. We are equal parts coaching and marketing done for you. Yes, you shoot some videos, we help you with campaign strategies and ideas and really become a thought leader in your community. You shoot those videos, you send them to us, we produce, edit, and brand them to you. Then we distribute them through all of your channels. We also take them and we turn it into one good blog per month. And every other month, we have Darcy Sullivan producing a robust blog with a topic that you pick from her database to help with your SEO. So we essentially become your content marketing agency to make sure your practice is always having ethical, elegant content marketing to help grow your practice. On the coaching side, we also help you with everything from marketing ideas to business, communications, finances, anything practice growth, and really try to help prevent you from being stuck on that island. And we hold you accountable. We have a great group of doctors that are just doing amazing things. And we look forward to help you out to take that next step in your practice. So again, check us out at modernchiropracticmarketing.com and learn more.